I wanted to make this video to kind of reflect on something that I just thought was interesting that just happened recently. I consider this a luxury, right? To even be able to reflect on it in this way. But right now I'm in the process of trying to get hired for a full-time job, right? I'm applying, sending out applications, that sort of thing. But at the same time, I've just recently been reached out to by somebody who was in a position I was in 3 years ago, who was looking for a mentorship. But the reason why I think it's such an interesting scenario is because I get to basically be in the head of the kind of people that I am applying to. I get to understand a little bit the mindset of the kind of person that I would be applying to because somebody else is reaching out to me. A couple of days ago, I went on a shoot, a production, as a production assistant. And on this production, I met another assistant and we basically got to talking and we exchanged information in terms of like what I did as somebody who produces, edits, podcasts and videos and audio and that sort of thing. And she was like, "Oh, I do UX design. I'm currently on an internship for, and they have me doing copywriting right now." And as we were talking, she was like, "Oh, I know, or rather, my roommate is actually trying to get into audio production and audio editing. Could she connect with you, or could I connect her to you, right? So that she could perhaps learn more about this sort of thing." And this doesn't really sound all that special. I thought it was interesting because after the production was done and we exchanged contacts and she connected me to her friend sent me an email basically asking for the chance to get some guidance on audio production, audio editing, that sort of thing. And the way she wrote it was I thought it was so apologetic, right? And so nice and so polite. It reminded me of myself like 3 years ago when I was in college and trying to send out uh, code emails, messages over social media and trying to network with people and trying to get opportunities for internships as well. It, it basically, and honestly, to be fair, right now, I'm actually still doing that as somebody who's trying to uh, land a full-time role at a specific company. It it just helped me look at it helped me it helped me look at my situation a little bit differently because I'm like, I now understand a little bit more what it's like to be in the position of the people that I'm sending emails to, right? Um, what I've learned from it so far is that because she sent me an email that was so kind and so apologetic, I'm like, well, I would feel bad if I didn't at least offer some sort of help to this person, right? I would feel bad because you were so kind in the way you wrote it. You were so apologetic. You were so nice and polite in the way you wrote it. Why don't I do whatever I can to connect you with somebody, whoever's in my network, right? That I think could perhaps provide some guidance to you, some mentorship to you to help you on your career, right? As you're trying to build out your career. So basically what I'm trying to say is from this experience, I've learned so far that sending out kind, nice, polite messages, not overly polite, but nice and kind messages to people is honestly it's a very good way to blow up your network, right? Because if you send something that sounds kind of casual, right? They may read you as a sort of casual person and they may be like, they probably don't even really want to do it, to be honest, right? If they're already busy and they see somebody trying to ask for more of their time, they might be like, I'm not really in the mood to try to supervise somebody else. But if you're like kind and you're polite about it, like this girl was, then you're like, you know what? Why not, right? If I'm not able to do it, I might know somebody who else is going to do it. And just off of the kind and nice message, you've exposed yourself to not just my network, right? Assuming you are assuming that I am the person that she's reaching out to, right? You've exposed yourself to not just my network, but like my friends' networks as well, right? So I just thought it was really cool that just off of the fact that the phrasing of the message was kind, it was apologetic, it was kind of nice, and it was polite, it basically blew up a network. The second thing that I'm taking away from this experience is how prior to the day of the production, neither of us knew each other, right? I didn't know who the girl was at the production, and I didn't know who her friend was. But just off of going there and just off of learning and sharing what it is that I do and what I'm trying to get to, and off of her sharing what she does and what she's trying to achieve, we were able to connect, or she was able to connect the dots a little bit, and it created opportunity for her friend. And so now all of a sudden, her friend's network has kind of blown up a little bit, right? From just the people that she knows to the people that I know, and to the people that, and my friends, to their networks as well. Because I'm asking them, hey, do you know somebody who's into this? Do you know somebody who's into this? Um, like it's just, it's a wild thing, I think. Because this is what networking is, right? And everybody talks about networking, but it's I've gained a new sense, or I've learned to understand it a little bit differently just thanks to this experience. So to summarize that, I'm trying to say that from this experience, two things I've come to mind as lessons for me. One, when you're writing messages to people and you're trying to cold email, or just reach out to people that aren't in your immediate sphere of influence, it's important to be kind. It's important to be polite. It's important to be nice in how you phrase it, because they may not even be interested in trying to take on anybody. But if you're kind, if you're nice about it, they might just be like, you know what, because of how nice you wrote this, I might just, even if I'm not willing to do it, I know somebody who perhaps will be willing to help you. And just off of that, you've exploded your network, right? The second thing is, when you're out with people, not that you have to lead with it or anything, but it's also important to share what it is that you do, and where it is that you're trying to go. And hopefully try to learn that from other people. And by doing that, you can connect the dots a little bit and create opportunities for yourself and for the people that are around you, and the people that you know. Because if you find out that somebody's doing something that you're into or that your friend is into, then you can expose yourself or them to this person's network, right? Or the people that they are friends with, you can expose yourself to their networks, and it just kind of blows up exponentially in a way. So those are the two things that I learned from this experience of basically networking. Um, I know it's nothing crazy, but I just thought I should record this to document it, and so that I can remember this maybe a couple of years from now when I don't know, forget about networking or something. I can remember this story. So